I hear no objection. It is so decided.
Adopted through consensus, a political declaration that seeks to galvanize implementation of the women's rights agenda that is characterized by progress that simply has not gone far enough since Beijing 3 decades ago.
Women's rights are under siege. The poison of patriarchy is back, and is back with a vengeance, slamming the brakes on action, tearing up progress, and mutating into new and dangerous forms. But there is an antidote, and that antidote is action. Now is the time for those of us who care about equality for women and girls to stand up and to speak out. Now is the time for the world to accelerate progress and deliver on the promise of Beijing.
While progress has been made, including a rise in the proportion of women in parliaments, a decline in maternal mortality, girls achieving parity with boys in upper secondary school, and the hundreds of legal reforms adopted to level the playing field for women and girls across countries, major gaps still persist, not as a result of a lack of vision, but rather a lack of implementation. Guterres pointed to 5 focus areas for accelerating progress, including the need to boost finance for sustainable development by delivering sustainable funding for women's equality, the need to step up support for women's organizations in pushing progress, action on technology better tailored to women and girls, guaranteeing women's full participation in peace building, and the need for action to ensure women's full participation and leadership in decision-making at every level and all walks of life.
COVID-19 saw a swell of violence against women and girls, and labor market participation fall. The debt crisis is draining funds and shrinking fiscal space for programs of gender equality. Escalating climate disasters are hitting women and girls hardest. And equality for women and girls is a casualty of surging conflicts around the world. Yet global crises are not the only obstacles. New laws on the books have not been matched by investments to make them real on the ground. Nor have they universally been grounded in international human rights standards and principles. Discriminatory norms endure. Political will is often weak, and so is accountability.
South Africa's delegation is led by the Minister in the Presidency responsible for women, youth and persons with disabilities, who welcomed the early adoption of the political declaration.
This is a real victory for women, not only in South Africa, but all over the world. Because as you have said, it is not common that the declaration will be just adopted as easy as like this. Many times there will be issues raised in terms of concepts and everything else. But that we have this declaration adopted unanimously and by everybody, for us, it's victory for women. Of course, it actually means that we're still committed to Beijing Declaration, but also to Beijing Platform for Action. It actually says that we're still committed to those 12 critical areas that talk to issues of poverty, which women sometimes are defined as they are the face of poverty. And we don't want that. It means that we're still committed to issues of health, to issues of education, that are part of the critical areas that are in that platform for action.
She also indicated that the country's G20 presidency has brought additional interest in South Africa that seeks to place the empowerment of women at the center of its processes.
Quite a number of people would want to meet with us because of course, the presidents of the G20. But of course, we are already trying to lobby countries so that for the first time on empowerment of women working group, the declaration can be approved. So those are the things, because it has never been approved, not in India, not in Brazil. We think that we can make some difference in South Africa and have it approved in South Africa.
Chikunga will present the country's statement to the Commission later this week, which includes Pretoria's Beijing +30 progress report. Shervin Bryceby's SABC News, New York.